You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
Welcome to the Hot Options Report, your premier source for insight into the fast-moving options market. Each day, we'll track down the products that are dominating the options chains and impacting your trading account, from Nvidia to VIX and everything in between. If it's lighting up the options tape, then you'll find it on the Hot Options Report.
All right, everybody, that music means it is time once again for your Hot Options Report. For Thursday, January 22nd, my name, of course, Mark Longo from the Options Insider Radio Network. Check it out if you're not listening to the full network, wherever you get your favorite podcast. Over a dozen shows coming at you. And, of course, if you want to join us for the Vol Deathmatch coming up very soon, theoptionsinsider.com/pro. And, of course, while you're going pro, make sure you check out our friends over there at thehotoptionsreport.com. Just talking with Nick earlier today. A lot of cool stuff in the offing. Check it out over there, thehotoptionsreport.com. If you're listening to this and you're not checking it out, what are you doing? You can't beat the price. Spoiler alert, it's free. And you can't beat the data. Thehotoptionsreport.com. The place to go to kick the tires and light the fires as we see what's lighting up the tape out there today. Was it an impressive day? The answer was, it was respectable. Cost you 522,000 contracts to break into the top 10 today. It gets us to our old pal Micron. Micron, once again, on the rampage out there today, up another $8.50 or a little over 2% to close $397.58, putting up 522,000 contracts for the number 10 spot. The hot option in Micron today, 37, almost 38,000. Of the Jan pars, the 400s expiring tomorrow. Average price for these about $3. So if you like these, Micron's got to keep it up. Of course, it's been moving over $8 a day pretty much every day this week. So you might have a good chance of making those pay off as we keep climbing to our number 9 spot. It's the Amazonians, rallying today $3.03 to close at $234.34, putting up 569,000 contracts for the number 9 spot. The hot option in Amazon today, 64,000 of the 235s. Average price for these, $1.19. And once again, we did get there, listeners. Stock got as high as $235.72, so they were in the money ever so briefly. Maybe that makes you like these more. Looks like paper might have been overriding these, in which case, just one more day to go, listeners, and you pocket a sweet, sweet $1.19 as we keep climbing to number 8, a name that's had a hard time climbing so far this year. It's the Fruit Company, a.k.a. Apple. Managing to climb a little bit today, up about 70 cents to close at $248.35, putting up 697,000 contracts. For the number 8 spot, the hot option in Apple today, nearly 70,000 of the 2 halves, 250s. Average price for these, $1.44. Before you say that's wild, the stock got as high as $251 earlier in the session before falling back below $250. So if you were buying these, it looked a lot better earlier in the day than they do now. Can we get back there by tomorrow's close? We shall see as we keep climbing to the number 7 spot. Another name that's had a decent week after having a rough start to the year. It's AMD, rallying $3.93 to close $253.73, up about 1.5%, putting up a little over 750,000 contracts. For the number 7 spot, the hot option in AMD today, 65,000 of the 220 puts. Average price for these, 69 cents. And before you say 220 by Friday, that's a long way to go. You are right. These actually do expire next week. So maybe you think there's a little bit better chance for these to pay off by next Friday, listeners. This is not an earnings play. AMD's earnings are after the bell on the 3rd. So this is just a straight play on a whole bunch of downside potentially in AMD. Paper might have been selling these, though. It was an opening trade, so maybe you like these better as a sale, listeners. Either way, we'll keep an eye on these as we keep climbing to number 6, the artist formerly known as Facebook. Yeah, it's Meta. Rallying today a whopping $34 or about 5.6%. So a wild day in Meta. Apparently, Jeffrey says it's a bargain. Well, there you go. Either way, more buyers and sellers out there today, listeners. Meta putting up 801,000 contracts for the number 6 spot today. The hot option in Meta, 44,000 of these 6 halves, the 650s, expiring tomorrow. Average price for these, $1.82. And before you say that's wild, the stock got as high as $660.5. The hot option in Meta, 44,000 of the 650s. Average price for these, $1.82. These are going out tomorrow. So once again, if you are buying these, you need Meta to turn around before the close. Tomorrow close, obviously, north of the 6 half level. We'll keep an eye on those as we keep climbing to number 5, Pfizer. Pfizer closing today, $26.10, up 19 cents. So not exactly a wild day, but putting up nearly 1 million contracts today. So you know something else is probably afoot, and that is the case. It was a div play day out there in Pfizer, as represented by the hot option today, 144,000 of the March 23s. Once again, in the money calls, dominating the div plays as we keep climbing to number 4. It's our old pal Intel. His name has been climbing quite a bit. Climbing again today, but only 7 cents to close at $54.32. Still quite the run from the $20 level it was at just a few months ago. Putting up 1.2 million contracts today for the number 4 spot. And you're saying, why is Intel so hot today? It didn't really move. Well, it has earnings after the bell. Let's see what folks were up to out there today. The hot option in Intel, 53,000 of the Jan 60s, 6.0s. Average price for these, 65 cents. Now, you might be saying 60 handle in Intel. That might be a bit of a bridge too far. Let's see how they're faring in earnings, shall we? And it looks like if you were buying these calls today, listeners, for about 65 cents, you're probably not going to be happy in the after hours. The stock selling off pretty hard, already down to about $50 in the after hours, so down over $4. So obviously moving in the wrong direction if you want to get past 60 by tomorrow's close. As we keep climbing to number 3, a name that is no longer climbing apparently. This is Netflix, selling off another $1.82, a little over 2% to close at $83.54, putting up 1.6 million contracts for the number 3 spot today. So a hot day in Netflix. Of course, we just had earnings for them earlier this week. Obviously, the number not exactly lighting the street on fire. We saw a lot of action in the Jan pars heading into earnings. Obviously, those did not work out if you were buying those. So what was the hot option out there today? Let's go out a little ways. How about 145,000 of the SEP pars, the September 100s? I'll let you do a little math in your head really quickly, listeners. How much do you think the September 100 call traded for today? Again, that's a lot of duration, going all the way out to September expiration. If you said $5, or actually $4.99, you are the winner chicken dinner, trading nearly 145,000 times. So if you like these, listeners, you don't mind shelling out for a little bit of long-term upside here in Netflix as we keep climbing to number 2. Yes, number 2 today. It's Nvidia, rallying $1.66 to close 184.84, putting up 1.91 million contracts for the number 2 spot, the hot option in Nvidia today. 158,000 of the 185s. Average price for these, $1.55, listeners. That means you know what has to be number 1 today. It's Tesla. We were just talking about 420 puts, 430 puts. And we said recently it seemed like the 450s we were talking about maybe in the rearview mirror, at least for now. Well, they are back with a vengeance today, listeners. Tesla roaring out of the gate today on the back of the hype over robo-taxis out there, rallying nearly $18, a little over 4% to close 449.36. So right below that 450 strike, putting up 2.56 million contracts for the number 1 spot and the hot option in Tesla today. 168,000 of our old pals, the 450s, the 4 halves. Average price for these, exactly $2. So if you're buying these, you know what has to happen tomorrow, listeners. Tesla has to get past 452 before the close of the session to give you a chance to get the heck out of Dodge, and hopefully a lot more if you're buying these. If you sold them, might have to sweat a little bit, but you could pocket a sweet, sweet $2. And that's going to do it for us on the Hot Options Report for Thursday, January 22nd. Remember, check out our friends over there at thehotoptionsreport.com. We're not lying when we say it's some of the best options data you can get your hands on out there right now. You owe it to yourself to check it out, thehotoptionsreport.com. Back again tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel with another episode of the Hot Options Report. Stay safe out there, everybody.
You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.